Now let me invite our next speaker, Mr. Sanjay Gulati, EVP and Group Head Corporate Tax, GST and Litigation, GMR Group. Let me give a small brief about sir. Mr. Sanjay works as a Group Executive Vice President with over 28 years of experience across diverse sectors, including aviation, energy, infrastructure, retail, e-commerce, pharma, and FMCG. He brings deep expertise in corporate tax, M&A, regulatory, compliance, and litigation. The topic is going to be navigating tax tech innovations, implementation, and AI integration. With this, let us invite Sir on the dais, and everyone I'm expecting, we are going to applaud every speaker who steps up on the dais. Post this, there will be a panel discussion followed by the award ceremony. So I request to this beautiful and elite gathering, please stay back till the award ceremony is over because we are going to capture a group picture at the very end. So I'm expecting every person to be in that photograph. With this, sir, stage is all yours.
Thank you, everyone. And thank you, ma'am, for enlightening everyone and for waking everyone up and bringing back to school. So I think this topic is very interesting, the role of tax technology and in our day-to-day managing the tax governance. How do we do that? Is every day is challenge, and we all grapple with various thoughts, how we try to synchronize what is needed and how to cope up with lots of tools now across, and every now and then we come to know this is one tool and this is another tool, but then what is the best fit is the one which needs to be looked into. I think that simplifies our life as in the tax governance framework. And what is the right framework we should have? What is the thought we should have in managing taxation? Is it that we just grapple with a hybrid model of crunching data and then analyzing data and then pushing that data back into return filing process? And there are a lot of reporting requirements now across, whether it is under the Companies Act or it is under requirements under the tax laws and global taxation. Multinational companies have a bigger challenge of a lot of data crunching in terms of related party transactions, transfer pricing. Then we have GST. Then we have many more laws which require data analysis and data publishing and data retention. So how do we do all this seamlessly? And then this is one of the requirement of that we need to evaluate how do we do the right compliance and how do we ensure that it is done seamlessly and everything is transparent, and we are in a position to accurately report them, because the data scrutiny, which is the second level, which happens at the government side, on the government side. And when it happens on the government side, we don't know what is going to be. So I think in this process, then technology really is enabling everyone. And we are in the very right time and moment when technological innovations are on the cusp, and at every nook and corner of the world, the technology is spoken about. And so what is the right fit technology, and what should be embedded as part of our ERP systems or as part of our other reporting systems is one area which I think the experts can better advise and drive us through. But the one point I must say that we are at the very right time, because there are a lot of emerging technologies which support this arrangement and this requirement. So looking into this, that we talk about AI, we talk about blockchain, we talk about machine learning, we talk about other things. It's all very nice to hear these kind of technologies, and they are really enabling technologies, and every aspect of our business life cycle is going to be supported by these technologies to drive in each area their intended results. And accordingly, I think that's where we can't say that any part of the business life cycle will be without the intervention of these advanced technologies. And therefore, from that perspective, I keep pondering all the time that what is that right enabling technology that one should have at the enterprise level. Now, globally, it is not just India. When we talk about legal and tax compliances or any such compliances, still, despite that these technologies are there, but these technologies are the front-end technologies where it is the investment in those technologies has been done at the business value chain, business frontline value chain. But whether it is getting its foot at the governance level, the answer is yes or no. To the extent that it is a must, to the extent that without which I think the business survival becomes difficult, those technologies are being adopted, because there is a spend. Every dollar spent, they want to see what it brings to. And therefore, the pace at which the technology must get penetrated at the governance level may not be as fast as it should be. So while all companies are gearing up accounting functions, finance functions, they're using robotics and data processing and reconciliations and whatever are the finance areas of areas, they are trying to bring that as part of it. But the question is, when it comes to compliances like global tax compliances or India tax compliances per se, a lot of data which needs to be analyzed is the most difficult thing. First of all, knowing what transactions are taking place across the business lines, and what implications and what are the structures or arrangements, business arrangements which have been there in a business life cycle. As tax experts, do we have the visibility? As tax experts, do we get to know the rationale of any decision, business decisions? And does it really percolate down and we are able to analyze that? So I think there are a lot of gaps at this point in time in terms of connecting those dots, and that is where I think right at the business inception, once that is integrated, then I think the second part becomes easier, that you have data and you can bring that data for your analysis and then structure it for the purpose of compliances and filings, etc. So in my understanding at this point in time, the focus on the compliance part or on the managing the framework of compliances is still very low. So how do we do that? And what are the challenges we have? So how do we do that is that there need to be a focus in terms of we have to eliminate the hybrid mechanism of something we bring the data and push it in the Excel, and something we do it through some reconciliation tools we have, and we try to marry them, and then we report them. And then it leads to a lot of errors, a lot of gaps, and we end up then seeing them that we are not able to still cope with that and report correctly. So the last part I would say in terms of that, the value chain of compliance has to be integrated to the transaction workflow. Now, when that gets integrated with the transaction workflow automatically, then it's a rule-based compliances. These are not just that you are pulling the data and then just filing it, then you are looking into a lot of tax rules, then you are looking into a lot of eligibility conditions, you are looking into a lot of deductions, what are deductible, what are non-deductible, what are on which, from an income tax side, on which you have to pay, what are the different type of business transactions, right from whether you are paying, you are having dividend distribution, or whether you are having other incomes, or you are having any expenditures, etc. So what kind of analysis you do according to the rule engine, that rule engine need to be in place. So that integration of rule engine with the transaction data system is the need of the hour. And that is where I think now AI and blockchain technology can bring that part together with the transaction workflow, and where you have the visibility and traceability, and you have the ability to review, and that review also, because you have a rule-based engine, that rule-based engine determines the analysis part, and it filters down what needs to be in terms of the eligibility criteria or the various other aspects of the tax laws are. So considering all that, where we are and how do we achieve that? So it requires a little deep dive focus from the management side, and where they need to consider this also as a very significant part. It is not that somebody, you can hire 5 people and do it, and because it's just filing. It actually impacts the profitability of a business also. Any single dollar of tax inefficiency or value in inefficiency leads to a drain of your profitability. So I think when that is connected, all gamut is linked to the entire framework. So that's what I think in short I can talk about. And we have basically technology experts who will bring that, what is the suitable combination of technologies that should get into. But I think the bolt-on and the bits and pieces approach of managing this compliance and governance framework would not really make things work for us. What is going to help and support is the integrated approach. It should be married and integrated into our workflow systems. And from where, whether we have to do a tax planning, we do all that positioning right in the beginning and place it in our rule engine, and rule engine then defines our workflow of the transactions, and then the compliance becomes automatic, and you don't have to do a manual intervention of doing physical reconciliations or this and that and eligibility criteria, so on. So this is what I would largely sum it up as a pain point for all tax heads who have to really manage every day with large size teams, and bringing the team up to date, enhancing their capabilities, enhancing their learning abilities, and so on. So it's an everyday process. So we have, right, in our area, I can say that we have verticalized the specialized focused areas. So we call the center of excellence, and there are specialized teams who focus on one thing. There is a team who does the entire compliance. There's a focus team there. The technology will sit. The processing will happen. There's a team which decides the whole strategy. What is the strategy? What are the tax positions? We embed that in our system, and then the compliance team doesn't have to apply their mind into whether it is the position or not. So this team, which is specialized into position setting, will set up that in the system and drive that. So it flows automatically in the system. Nobody has to then look into it. So that's the way I think future, the role of technology will enable our governance and compliance framework. Thank you so much.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you so much. May I invite Mr. Siddhartha Goyal from DS Group. Sir, can we have you on the dais to present a small token of appreciation to Mr. Sanjay for his presentation and his precious time he has given us here today.